Today we will start a new chapter which is based on material costing. So, material, as you know, it is a part of prime cost, right? So, basically, when you calculate the prime cost, we add it looks like this: material cost plus labor cost, right? Plus direct expenses. So, if we add this, we get the prime cost, right. So, in this session today, we will primarily discuss about the material cost, right. So, what we will discuss? We will discuss that the primary idea about what is material, right, and there are two questions which we will try to answer. First is that when the company procures material, right, and then the question comes that when to order, right. The first question is when to order the material, and second question is how much to order the material. And we will also explore a third issue, that when in the inventory, when the inventory comes to the stock, right, comes to the store, then how we can calculate the inventory value, right. So, what are the methods which we can use for uh, calculating the inventory value. So, our objective in this module is to answer the following questions. So, first I am just doing a recall. First question is when to order. When to order the material. So, this is the we will try to find out that how to answer this question, right. Then second question, important question is how much to order, right. Here primarily we will discuss one concept which is called economic order quantity or EOQ. So, these are the two major questions we will try to find out that how to answer for it. Okay. So, we will discuss about the material cost. So, material cost. So, these are the learning objectives. So, understand the need for a proper material control system, describe the material control procedure, explain the difference between indirect and direct material costs and examples, calculate the stock level control, that is this question that when to order, right, and determine the economic order quantity, that is how much to order, and last one is the inventory, valuation of inventory, how we can do the valuation of the inventory. So, this question, this one, right, this one basically tries to answer the question which we already mentioned, that is when to order, and this EOQ, this will give you the the question here is how much to order, in one lot, and these methods are related to inventory, value. So, how to calculate the inventory value. So, today our major discussions will be around these issues. So, introduction, raw materials. What is actually raw material means? Raw materials are the basic materials and parts that are used in the manufacturing process. Direct material, so we can classify material into two parts. First one is the direct material, second one is the indirect material. What is the direct material? These are the raw materials that can be physically and directly identified to the finished product during the manufacturing process. Example, in the production of furniture, wood is the direct material, right. So, I can directly identify that how much wood is been used for production of furniture. There is another type of material which is called indirect material. These type of material cannot be directly traced to the product, right, and it is included as an overhead. For example, in production of furniture, varnish or paint is the indirect material. So, or salary of office staff, it is a varnish or paint is the indirect material, or in the machines, right, where the lubricants are being used, right. We can't directly attribute the cost of lubricant which is used for running, say, wood cutting machines, right, to a particular furniture. So, that kind of cost or expenditure, we can say it is an indirect material. Okay. So, these are the basic types of raw material. So, we need to put some control, because it is also companies spend money for acquiring material. So, we need to put some. What is the objective of material control? To ensure funds invested in material are properly used, to ensure the material purchased are of the right standard, to ensure the availability of inventory, to prevent from damages, to ensure materials are only issued as authorized. So, these are the objectives of material control. Now, how it works in a factory, right? So, usually it starts with the purchasing or procurement department. So, the purchasing or procurement department, it floats quotations, it floats tenders, right, and asks for quotations. After they get the quotations from the prospective vendors, right. So, what they do? They issue a purchase order. After issuing the purchase order, according to the terms and conditions, the suppliers or the vendors, they supply the material. It comes to store, right. So, after the supplier supplies the material, it comes to store, and in store they record it under the stocks, right, from the stocks. Now, it is kept in the stock, right, till the issuance happens to the production department. Like, for example, I am giving you one example. Say an automobile company, it requires tires, right. So, the purchase department will flow a tender for purchasing the tires. The suppliers will supply the tires. Once the suppliers will supply the tires, and the tires reach the company premises, it is kept in the store, and this records that how many tires are received and all, it will be recorded, right. And when from the assembly line the requisition comes for the tires, the store will issue the tires to the assembly line. In the assembly line, the tires will be fitted with the vehicles, and it will be rolled out. And periodically, that as that new tires, new stock is coming in and it is going out to assembly line for issuance, the stock will be valued. So, here you see, we need to decide thing that is first is, here we need to decide that when the order will go, when a new order will happen. So, this we need to decide, right. And from here, once the this purchase order is been issued, right. So, it will come from here to the storage or the storekeeping, and they will keep a control over this stock. And once they will receive the requisition from the production department, so they will issue the stocks, and then they will value periodically the stocks. And so, here we will use several methods, like for example, FIFO, LIFO, etc. fine. So, this is the overall process of material control. Purchasing process includes storage department, purchasing department, production department and the receiving department. So, storage and storekeeping, what are the responsibilities? Ensure goods received from supplier are properly stored, organize storage and monitor stock level, protect goods from theft, fire, etc. Issue purchase requisition note to purchasing department when stock is insufficient, issue material needed to production department. So, these are the responsibilities of storage and storekeeping. Then it goes to the purchasing and procurement. So, what are the responsibilities? Received and process purchase requisition from storekeeper, select and contact potential supplier and purchase material by issuing purchase order to supplier. So, once the purchasing department receives the requisition from the store, it processes that requisition and select the best possible supplier, right, depending upon the terms and conditions and pricing and all those. Now, from there they purchase the material by issuing the purchase order to supplier. So, then it goes to the production department. So, production department, what are the responsibilities? Send material requisition when requesting material from storekeeper, receiving material from store for production, transform material into finished goods. So, this is the responsibility of the production department. So, from store the material goes to the production department and they follow the production process and transform the raw material which they receive from the store into the finished product. Receiving department received and checked material from supplier against invoice and delivery note, issue GRN, good receipt note and inspection note if the goods received is satisfactory, return back to suppliers the defected material. So, the receiving when the supplier comes sends the supply, the receiving department ensures that they are of particular quality, right, and the quantity which is mentioned in the purchase order, that is also satisfied. Now, stock and inventory control system, it is important. Why it is important? The reason is that you need to record and monitor the stock level, right, and also at the same time you need to anticipate the future demand, because there is a time lag between the date of ordering and the date of receipt, right. So, the entire process of purchase, it takes certain time. So, a certain kind of anticipation, right, is required, that how the demand will come. Otherwise, what can happen is there can be supply bottleneck, right. So, there are demand, the production line wants more material, but there may be a shortage in the storage. So, we need to avoid that kind of situation. Deciding when and how many to order, which we already said that this is a major question. Deciding when and how, right, many to order, and at the same time this there should not be any dead stock, right, in the store, because if you keep excess inventory, it involves cost, it creates the blockage of funds. So, this preventing excessive accumulation of inventory items, it is not desirable. So, we should avoid it. So, in control system, we will discuss that when and how many to order, and we will see that excessive, it should be very efficient to avoid the accumulation of dead stock or non-moving stock or excessive stock. Okay. So, now so there are two types of stock and inventory system. First one is the perpetual inventory system. What is perpetual inventory system? It maintains a continuous and regular record of inventory movement. The record is to be up to date, right. So, continuously they keep on maintaining the records, and periodic inventory system updates the inventory records only periodically at statement. So, it is periodical, it can do it on by quarterly or annually, right. So, many of the companies, they follow actually both the methods sometimes, right. For some products they follow perpetual inventory system, for some products they follow the periodic inventory system. Okay. Now, the question comes when to order. So, for answering this question, we need to find out this we need to find out certain answers to these levels, right. The first thing is, that is, what is the lead time, right. Lead time means how much time it takes to uh, from issue of purchase requisition to receiving the stock. So, we must know that how much. So, some products the lead time may be very less, some products the lead time may be quite high. So, if the product is suppose imported from abroad, right, then the lead time may be high. If it is a local material, the lead time may be very, very low, right. Okay. Nowadays, what happens that many of the suppliers, they ancillaries are created, they are situated in the periphery of the mother plant, right. So, in such a case, the lead time may be quite low, but if it is to be imported from abroad, right, in such a case the lead time can be very high. So, for planning an acquisition of materials, right, it is very important, because if at any point of time the store runs out of stock, then it can create a serious problem in the production process, and it can hamper the profitability of the company. So, reorder level is at what level the company will reorder, right. Reorder quantity, when the company will reorder, what will be the quantity, right. Minimum stock level, what is the minimum level of stock company should maintain, right. So, that means if it reaches to the minimum stock level, the company should place a order. Maximum stock level should also be decided. Why? Because we need to prevent the excessive stock accumulation. So, company has to decide that what would be the maximum stock level which the company can maintain. Average stock level, so maximum plus minimum by 2 is the average. On average, how much stock company should maintain for each inventory. So, that we need to see. So, lead time. What is lead time? Time taken for the stock to reach the store, right. Time between placing an order and actual delivery, right. So, as we said that the lead time is the time, the date on which the order is being placed and the date on which actual delivery happened. So, the time lag between these two events, it is called the lead time. Reorder level, the level at which new stock needs to be replenished. So, what is the formula? Maximum usage into maximum lead time. So, that is equal to reorder level. Okay. So, this is the formula for the reorder level. Reorder quantity, reorder how much I need to I need to order. So, size and quantity that needs to be ordered, size and quantity that needs to be ordered. So, what is the formula? Minimum stock level, minimum quantity that must be available at the store. So, formula is minimum SL is equal to ROL in minus average usage into average lead time. Okay. The answer to this question we will see when we will discuss the EOQ, the economic order quantity. So, when we will discuss EOQ, we will see we will seek the answer to this question, that how much we need to order. Maximum stock level, the maximum quantity that can be placed in the store, the formula is maximum SL is equal to ROL minus minimum usage into minimum lead time plus ROQ. So, this is the formula for maximum stock level, right. Okay. Average stock level is minimum stock level plus half into ROQ, the reorder quantity. So, here is one example. So, if we do an example, the concept will be clear. Malay House of Silk is well-known distributor of imported textiles in India. One of the popular imported textiles is soft silk fabric. The average demand for the product is estimated as at 45,000 rolls per month and increased to 48,000 rolls during festive season. The components of all soft silk fabrics consist of 70% silkworm and 30% thread. The fabric is imported from China and the average consumption is 1400 rolls per day. The minimum and maximum consumption of silk is 1200 and 1600 rolls per day. So, at the end of the week, the stock level is being reviewed, and if the reorder level is reached, an order will be replaced next day. Shipment from China is expected to be 3 to 5 weeks. So, this is actually the lead time, right, from the ordering date, and reorder quantity is given, it is 20,000 rolls. So, calculate the following. So, I am again for a recap, we are doing, I am explaining the entire concept what we discussed till now. So, for a company, for a manufacturing company, it is important to understand that when to order, right. So, it has in store there is a particular raw material which has been received and the requisition is coming from the production department. So, as the store is issuing the raw material, the stock is gradually decreasing, right. So, the company needs to maintain a minimum level of stock at any point of time. So, it has to decide that what would be the minimum level of stock it should maintain at any point of time, and from there he will place a reorder, a new order for raw material, and then again the stock level will go up, again issuance will happen, so come down, so it will go like this, right. Now, in this question, the company, he is a silk producer and it imports the raw material from China, right. So, he has to decide that at what point of time, right, he will reorder. So, he has a stock he is making production and stock is reducing and it is reaching a level, and then what is the reorder level. So, what is the formula? The formula is maximum usage into maximum lead time. So, 1600 rolls it is given into 5 weeks, so 8000 rolls. So, when the stock will reach 8000 rolls, what the company will do? Company will reorder, will put a fresh order, okay. Maximum SL, so how much maximum he should keep? Formula is ROL minus minimum usage into minimum lead time plus ROQ. So, reorder quantity it is already given in the question, that is 20,000 rolls. So, 8,000 reorder level we have already calculated, it. The reorder level here you see 8,000 rolls, that means when the stock will reach 8,000 rolls, he will place a new order, right. So, reorder 8,000 we calculated already, plus minimum usage is 1200 rolls, it is given in the question, into 3 weeks, minimum lead time is 3 weeks, the lead time because it is importing from China. So, it is 3 to 5 weeks. So, minimum lead time is 3 weeks plus 20,000 as we calculated. So, it is coming to 24,400 rolls. So, this is the maximum stock level the company should keep, right. If it goes beyond 24,400, that means company's investment in stock is on the higher side, which is not necessary, because if the fund is blocked in inventory, it involves cost. If it is borrowed money, then company has to pay interest. If it is own money also, then there is opportunity cost of interest which the company is losing. So that needs to be avoided. So this 24,400 rolls, this is the maximum level of stock which the company should keep in store. The minimum SL, what is the minimum stock level? So how much minimum they should keep, right? Minimum is ROL minus average usage into average lead time, right? So ROL is reorder level 8,000, you remember we calculated it. Average usage we calculated 1200 rolls beforehand, minus plus 1200 rolls plus 1600 rolls divided by 2, right, average usage, and average lead time is, it is between 3 to 5 weeks. So 3 weeks plus 5 weeks by 2. So if we calculate, then minimum stock level is coming to 2400. That means the company at the given consumption level, at the given production level, the minimum stock should be 2400 and the maximum should be 24,400. So in a store, it should fluctuate between 24,400 on the higher side to 2,400 on the lower side. So this is the range. Okay. So ideal order size of stock should be to be ordered by the business, minimize total cost, and total cost will be how much? Holding cost plus ordering cost.